It's been 3 years since LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga released, and straight up is one of the best LEGO games ever made. Not my personal favorite, but we'll get into that later. It's an open world game that features every Star Wars movie we have so far in existence, with funny silly charm of the LEGO games we always had, but with voice acting.
Victory! Stupid chair!
I don't know since when this has been a thing, but I don't think I hate it. It has a ton of puzzles, almost 500 characters, and so far, for what I have seen, well recreated movie scenes. And completing this game will take you hundreds of hours. You'll need it soon. This game made me realize something that I'm gonna criticize about myself. And that is, I am the one that makes some games overwhelming. This is something that I have no proof, yet no doubt that comes with the age and responsibilities. But I tend to complain when a game has a lot of hours to get the 100% complete edition, and mark it as filler content and artificial grind for retention. And I'm not gonna come here and say every puzzle and content in this game is handcrafted or perfectly made, cause for that I actually have to complete it first. But I feel like it's just a matter of perspective. My perspective in particular is that this game is fun in short sessions, as someone that enjoys Star Wars but is not a hardcore fan of it. There are different classes and each of them have their own abilities to upgrade, which is both awesome and frustrating. Having this allows you to have the characters with a bit more depth in gameplay on a game that, for obvious reasons, is simple mechanically to begin with. But I find it frustrating cause I will see puzzles that I cannot complete straight up cause I didn't unlock the powers that I needed for it. Okay, don't get me wrong, backtracking has always been a thing in LEGO games, but with this game that has a wider scope to do stuff, leaving them behind instead of being able to mark them out of your to-do list straight up frustrates me sometimes. And the frustration I feel does not only apply for side content, cause I remember that I was doing one of the main chapters of the first movie and I couldn't get all the objectives for the side completion. So that meant that if I wanted to complete it, I would have to redo that chapter again for it. So to break it down, you just have a game with an insane amount of content that also provides you backtracking, and likely you will have to repeat stuff, and if you didn't pay attention enough the first time, yeah, now you get my point. That being said though, nothing of this actually makes the game bad. I'm more than aware that I'm not really the target for this game, and I'll be honest, if you give me this game when I was a teen and I had Star Wars movie more fresh in my mind, I'm sure I would have loved it despite the backtracking and just avoided entirely trying to do any type of side content and completion. Now, the question of the century is it better than the original LEGO Star Wars games? I mean, personally, I believe so. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm also a strong believer that sometimes less is more. But I can't just overlook the amount of quality content this game has, just because sometimes I get a bit bored or frustrated. Yeah, sure, you can say that you lost customization and that you find the voice acting cringe. Valid statements. But, dude, you have combos, almost 500 characters, almost 50 open world levels, like, it's just a lot. And a lot that is well made. It's impressive. I'm not trying to convince you that you gotta like this game by all means and that the old ones are bad. I'm just putting out what I think about this game, and I think this game is better in pretty much all aspects except of maybe the pacing. And for sure if you love Star Wars, you're just gonna like this game. But as for me, I think I would rather play LEGO Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars, if it didn't crash every now and then on my PC instead. It has my favorite characters, it has my favorite Star Wars storyline, and I'm less burnt out of linear games than I am from open world ones. I don't know if I can call it a problem or a reward, but people my generation grew up with games that if you didn't complete it 100%, you wouldn't see the true ending. And the thing was just translated into how we see games nowadays, in which there are a lot of people that engage with the internet and try to complete the games the most they can while also rushing to play the next game ahead they can in the shortest amount of time possible. The only reason I pointed out in this video is not only because I want you to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, it's because the game is actually fun. For me in particular, it is just not fun all the time, or for a long session each time. But I crave to play it every now and then, and I have fun till I either get frustrated or there is something else I want to play more. I wish I could talk more about this game, not me trying to farm viewership retention. Please, how could you think that? But reality is, this game is not that deep. Everything is well made, is fun, is silly, is simple, and it has so much that you could even call it grotesque. So I would recommend you to try it if what I said in this video about the game convinces you enough. But before we leave, I will make a small notation that for some people this is a bad thing. This game suffered an insane amount of crunch to the developers, in case that changed how you see the value of the game itself. Personally, as one myself, as sad as it sounds, is so common that it doesn't really change my perspective of the games. But for some people, that's a game changer, so there you go. I hope you all liked this video, and if you did, leaving a like and subscribe would help me a lot. And if you have played this game or all the LEGO ones, comment me which one is your favorite. And I will see you all in the next one.